thanks for the endorsement from Svika. And now the instructions. So I'll tell you first what I'm going to tell you. Itai is going to start and tell you a bit more about what we did last time in the Innovation Camp, because the first Innovation Camp was inspired mostly by third-party camps, by Yossi Valdi's Kinernet and Geekon and Eureka and Musinet and other camps of that nature. And this time, after we've already had a successful camp, we know some of the formula, but Ami and a bunch of the folks that helped us last time are going to be with us this time as well as core folks that came in from the first camp that we did. But now we're really building on what we've already done and making it bigger and better. So before we talk about...
Well, let me tell you how it all started last year. I think it's an interesting point for me. About a year ago, when the world was in its biggest crisis ever, everybody was talking about the biggest economical crisis since 1999 or something. So in 1929, Tal met me at the way to the elevator going for a lunch, and he told me, are you familiar with Kinernet, with Eureka and all those? And I said, well, I heard about it. It's mostly couple of geeks guys that meets in a camp for 2 days. They break their toaster oven and create some kind of a robot from their vacuum machine cleaner. They say, yeah, kind of, but not exactly. I'm thinking about doing something like this at Amdocs. I was looking at Tal and I told him, that's the craziest thing I have ever heard. Yeah, let's do it. Less than 3 months later, we had our camp inspired by, as we said earlier, TED, Geekon, Eureka, Kinernet, and we were having it in Hacienda, the same place that we'll have it this year, I guess. We had two objectives. One of them, which for me is the most important, having the fun of creativity, of creations. People used to think of creativity and creation as a boredom, as something that you don't want to do. Some would rather meet a dentist than being innovative or standing on a floor, talking to other people, running some session, etc. But in the camp, we wanted to create it as a fun, rather than something that you don't have to do. We do believe that Amdocs have top talented. Here are some of them. And this year, we'll have much more than others. And we wanted to have all those talented people in one room for 2 days, a few days, making the best that we can out of our creativity. We enhanced our team with some people which come from outside of Amdocs, as Yossi Valdi, who's a famous entrepreneur. I believe everybody heard about him. Jeff Palver, Ami, which is here today with us, and some of our friends from Boxy, from Yuval and Gil, and people from other companies coming from all around Amdocs and doing what we call an unconference. An unconference is basically you start a conference without an agenda. You go, the board, as you saw in the movie, is empty. Everyone picks a slot, and he puts in the slot what he's going to talk about. So someone wrote here iPhone, he's going to talk about the iPhone. Someone wrote that he's going to talk about how to kill Amdocs in 1 year. Everything is open. You can do anything you want. Someone was talking about e-commerce, how to kill Amdocs in 1 year, etc. Not sure if you can read from far, but basically you have your room, you have your audience, and you can do whatever you want there. It can be a session, it can be a presentation, it can be an open discussion, or it can be a project that you build. We had very interesting projects. We had project on social media, project on consumer software, etc. And those were the first 2 days where it was an open environment, open IP, by the way. Any idea that you place there does not belong to Amdocs, obviously, as we had people not from Amdocs there as well. And you don't have to do anything which has to do anything with Amdocs. I don't know if you're familiar, in other companies such as Google, everybody talks about having 1 day of a week to do some creativity work, whatever you want. So those 2 days is not about doing things which will help Amdocs in the future. It's just about the fun of creativity, and it was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun. I can see that you see people from last year, when they talk about the innovations, they're always smiling. It always starts with a smile, and then they go talk about what they did. The other 2 days were more Amdocs oriented. We stayed only Amdocs people, and we were thinking of a lot of things that we can do and improve project-wise, product-wise, how we can improve and increase and help Amdocs growth. So some of the special projects we had there, very interesting balloon sessions from our friend down here. I'm not sure if we will have it this year as well. Some games with cold ice, some balloons that fly on hot air. We practically almost made a fire somewhere out in the woods in the north. This bicycle, by the way, there's a price of 20,000 shekels, which is about $5,000, from anyone who can drive them for more than 5 feet. And the only difference that bicycle has is that when you turn your steer to the right, the bicycle will go to the left and vice versa. That's it. It's just a reverse steering stick. I was not able to drive it even 1 meter. I don't think that anyone can. And many other interesting projects that we did. This is, by the way, is a gun that shoots potatoes or anything else to hundreds of feet. I don't remember exactly how far it goes, but by hundreds of feet. It's not something that you want to aim at your friends, but if you shoot in the air, it's nice. Guys, that's the whole idea about it. Having fun, nothing replaced. Probably one of the highlights is the Cooking Madness. Cooking Madness was all about how do you, each team was presenting his, each team had its own chance to show whatever mad cooking that they could do. I think we'll talk about it later. I'm not going to go deep into the details. And the extravaganza, which is an
who was
event.
the best cook.
Sorry?
Itai, tell them who was the best cook.
Who was the best cook? It depends what you like. If you like Vienna Schnitzel with Oreo and cranberries, or if you prefer some Boston ice cream, or you prefer some sweet fish, so the
Or user-generated sushi that isn't sushi at all.
or user-generated sushi, which is not sushi at all. So I seriously cannot say who was the best cook. I can tell you one thing. I tried everything.
Okay.
And there was a lot of dishes. Okay. So what would be the best answer? Who is the best cook? Karmit definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Karmit here agreed that she was the best cook. So what's the extravaganza? It's the event that we had at the first night where everyone was able to show their talents. By the way, those guys here are playing iPhone. Back there, in 2009, iPhone was a cool device. I know that today it's kind of an old device, but they were playing, what was it? It wasn't the flu. What was it? Ocarina on their iPhones. And John had a very interesting Amdocs ballad, and it was a very interesting event. So some would ask what comes out of it. Trying to be a little bit serious, not too much, but a little bit serious about what happened. What was the outcomes? What did we get out of this event? So we had a lot of great ideas. We had some things that we implemented. We had a lot of ideas that we pushed forward. We actually, I think that one of the most interesting things is that it helped Amdocs to get closer and closer to the next area, to what is going. Now, I think that in 2009, when we started the event, everybody knew what social media. I don't think that was even one of Amdocs employees that was not aware of what is social media. However, this event made it so clear and so obvious as to what we need to do that just about 20 minutes ago, when we were mingling in the coffee here, I heard that someone has a full-time job working on social media in Amdocs. Yeah. I know that that's what I said. I know that we were doing it before the camp. However, Amdocs as an organization was boosted and embarked on a very fast road to go into the social media areas. I think that a lot of us learned and heard about it more. I think that we established a very close group of innovators. We all keep meeting, and we know each other. And if I need something, I know where to meet. There was a lot of networking with innovative people. It's not just other networking within the organization. We had some articles about it, and a lot was about empowerment. When you stand in front of an audience and you're free to do silly things, and you have the freedom to talk stupidity and to do whatever you want, a lot of us gained from this event the ability to do it later, even in strict meetings that we have here in Amdocs day in and day out. You feel more open to new ideas, and I think that it helps a lot as a byproduct to increase the innovative idea of Amdocs. So, Twitter, by the way, the term TerraPlay, or as we called it at the beginning, it was called TerraPlay, now we call it the Connected World, etc. It was all embarked or started at Amdocs Innovation Camp. right?
It started as pentaplay.
Yeah, at the beginning we called it pentaplay. No, I think I removed it because I wanted to save some time. I think that that's basically what I remember for last year. Any questions? As Tal said, it's an open discussion.